Okay, and the delay has started because I always give a 20-second delay. Also, I have turned off the overlay, so there's not going to be any notifications or anything coming in. Because this is also going to go on YouTube.
Okay, so I'll let you handle that.
Yeah. Yes, we are live, and yeah. Yes. Hello, feathered friends. Welcome, one and all, to the first episode of what I'm going to call Feth's Passengers. And my first passenger for this week is the lovely Rebel Aviator. He is about ready to retire from the military, and I also play Dungeons and Dragons with him on Wednesdays. He is the Dungeon Master. Please check him out. He is tagged in the title. Just click on his name and it shall take you to his info and give him a follow. But yes, Rebel, do you want to give your own introduction? Tell people what you do.
I don't know. Is my head on straight?
It's not. It's not on straight. It's like.
Oh, dang it. Well, that's about right. That's life for me.
Let's see here. What? I'm going backwards. There we go. Oh. Damn, what?
Let me break my neck real quick. Hold on.
May have to,
This would be a lot different than my Oculus, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do the best I can with what we got.
Maybe just do a quick get up and sit down again.
There we go. Does that look better?
A little bit.
Maybe.
Oh, now you're backwards.
I'm backwards. No.
Oh, there we go. Well,
we'll just leave it like this.
Yeah, alright. So yes. Go ahead and continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes, my name's Rebel Aviator. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. About to retire from the military, served honorably for 7 years, and I play a variety of games from first-person shooters to tabletop RPG as well, and that's a little bit about me.
Cool. But yes, like I said, click his name down below for those of you who are watching this live, and it'll take you to his Twitch channel. If for those of you who will be watching this on YouTube, there will be a link in the description. So, without further ado, if I can grab the... There we go. Why don't we get started? And you get to choose the topic, Rebel. Just let things off. This is your opportunity to basically let things off your chest. Of course, the biggest rule is no politics.
Of course.
Yes.
I don't like
yes.
politics as they stand anyway, so we're good on that. Just what a day. I've been, spending all of this week basically at work, just getting the final bit of paperwork done for retirement. So it's been a challenge.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm just adjusting the volume real quick, making you louder.
Hey, you do you.
Ah!
But yeah, just trying to get everything, settled, ready to go, and then I've got 50 days of leave that are just happening here, starting next Tuesday. So it'll be well worth it in the end.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for you to just get everything done. Leaving any leaving any job, and I can only imagine, especially the military, is just stressful because you got to think about what's next.
Yeah, it's exactly. The thinking about what's next is like the biggest thing because it ranges because you either want to stay in the trade that you've learned for so many years, or you want to try something new, and you run the gamble of not really being qualified for said job.
Right, because you may have mentioned it to me a few times, but like, what exactly did you do in the Navy? Like,
so I was what's called an aviation electrician's mate. So I worked with a lot of like closed systems for electronics, night vision goggles, certain components, microchip boards, and
Right.
all that stuff. I did everything from soldering to cable repair to electrical testing and theory, and just a basic all-around troubleshooter.
right. That's cool. That's cool. My one of my uncles, who isn't, he's technically a civilian, but he still gets hired or contracted by the military to work on their vehicles. Yeah, he lives.
Always a good job to have.
Yeah, he lives in Olympia, so the capital of Washington State.
There you go.
Yeah. But 1 year, I think it was 2018, 2018. He accidentally cut his hand off with a table saw.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, because he was left alone.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and he was actually I think he was on the base when that happened, and so he was immediately helicoptered to the hospital.
Well, at least they were able to get him
Yeah.
there relatively fast. Were they able to like reattach
Yeah.
his hand, or is he?
Yeah, they saved his hand. They saved his hand.
They did save the hand. That's
Yeah,
good.
they saved the hand. It was like basically it was basically, well, I'm not doing that again.
He's lucky. Most people
Yeah.
don't get to save their appendages or limbs.
Yeah, it's he still, like, of course, has a little bit of trouble grabbing stuff, but it takes
Well,
it takes
that's
like
expected.
yeah, it takes training to, like, fully heal. So you got to retrain the
I
hand.
expect that. It just you got to relearn how to grasp things again and make sure all the moving parts are firing off at the right place in the right time.
Yeah, heck, I was actually drinking with them last Thursday at the my great grandmother's funeral, and his wife, which was of course my aunt, he looks at me when I was grabbing some whiskey, and she goes, "Are you really old enough to drink?" Because I'm still like looking like, because I haven't really aged that much. I still look like I'm in my teens, and I'm 24.
Jealous.
But like,
I'm every bit of 36, and I look like, with a full beard, I look like I'm 70.
nah, I'd say you look like in your 40s.
Oh, good. Just add 10 years to it. It's fine.
Early 40s. So maybe add 6 years.
Oh, yeah. So, like, that was a thing when I was in my, like, 20s and I had a full beard. I got carded for buying cigarettes.
Oh wow.
And I said, "Really? Do I look 18?" And the lady literally looked at me. She said, "No, you look 50." I was like, "Damn! Yeah, I guess someone pissed in your Cheerios."
Whoa! Ouch!
Right? I didn't ask to be attacked. I just wanted a pack of smokes. Damn.
Someone chose violence. That's
Well, it was like the start of night shift or night mid shift for them. So I can understand the anger and just
Yeah.
the shift, like some job you don't want to do. I understand it.
Yeah, because Actually, you know a little bit about this. I used to do security, and it was graveyard shift, 12 hours over 12-hour shifts over the weekend from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it was in Seattle.
Right. Yeah, I know when we were stationed out there in Washington State, my wife was stationed at the Port of Seattle, and it was
I'm so sorry.
very fun because I know it is just god awful. So yeah, I definitely have to keep my head this way. I don't know what's wrong with the bottle. I'm just looking at this way, and then I look at the delay. I was like, oh wow, my head is completely backwards. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get it fixed. Like I said, I just need to get my Oculus hooked up to the PC. That's next thing. That's my next thing when we actually move. I am gonna have a room dedicated to do streaming and streaming in VR as well. So with the current place we live in, we don't have enough space to do so.
Yeah, personally, so what I'm doing right now, because I'm on my Oculus, as you can see, but I'm not wired to my computer. I am wirelessly connected to my computer, but I am still plugged in to the wall.
Yeah, so you run it just for keeping the battery up and the power.
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like for me on my how my rig is set up, I could plug right into my USB 3s that are on my power switch, and plug it right into my my Oculus. But I need to have probably like a 10-foot cable just to have that extra room to kind of move around if I wanted to.
Right.
But like I said, when we end up moving, I am going to have a room solely dedicated to doing that. So I don't have to sit down. I can choose to sit down if I want, but I can also stand up if I want to and dance around. We can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind.
And then if friends don't dance, ain't no friends of mine.
Exactly.
I love it. Man, I love it.
I think what I'm going to try to end up doing, tonight, I've got a game with some of my Australian counterparts for D&D tonight, and I think tomorrow I'm going to spend most of the day learning the Avatar Legends game system, so I can try to run a session of that.
Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm dedicating the whole day to just working in Unreal, because compared to everyone else in the class, because I fell behind, I am basically playing catch up. Everyone had 3 weeks to work on a game, and I only get 3 days.
Yeah, so crunch time is now.
Yep.
That's the thing that's I commend you on going to college and stuff. I personally when I left high school in 2006, I went and did a trade school and learned the trades and all of that. So for me, I went to the trade schools for a year, then went straight into work for the next 8 to 9 years.
Yeah.
And after learn much, I was already out of student loan debt by that time, and was making good money. And then I decided to join the Navy and travel the world.
Right. Which, frankly, that's what everyone wants to do when they're young, is they want to travel. I mean, I still want to see. Yeah, I still want to see what the outside world is like outside of the U.S.
I will tell you right now, if you ever get the chance and you get your passport and you can go to Singapore, I would highly recommend Singapore. One, it's the conversion rate of currency is really good, and the food is good in a very clean country.
I have my passport. It's just that I don't have the money to travel right now.
Yeah, one of two.
Yeah. I got my passport book and passport card, so in case if I ever want to go outside the United States but still stay in North America, I can do that. Because your passport,
And,
your passport book ain't gonna do shit if you're wanting to go to like Canada or Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I gotta get done too. Is I want to get my passport because I wouldn't mind taking a trip to Singapore again, or even going to like Guam or anything like that.
Right. I used to have some family that lived in Guam. It was before I was born. I think it was a few years before I was born. They passed away because they were driving on a very stormy night and couldn't see the turn off the cliff. But still, so this is this is basically an uncle that I never met, but he's actually part of the reason why I ghost hunt, because he does make his presence known at my grandmother's house.
Oh, that's lovely to hear.
Yeah. he'll turn on and off the lights.
Yeah, that's even better.
Yes.
But what else is going on here? Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is just getting ready for transitioning back to the civilian life, and how the challenge is different for every person. I've heard good stories, I've heard horror stories, and all that about just transitioning from the military to civilian life, and it's just interesting.
Yeah, one of my uncle on my mom's side, he actually served in quite a few branches, and when he finally retired, he retired from the Coast Guard, because he started out as a Marine, and then he was in the Army, then National Guard, and then Coast Guard. Mainly because he didn't really know what he wanted to do. It was basically, okay, I'm bored of this. Change jobs, type of thing. But he's still technically getting benefits, or he's still getting benefits because he still technically served in the military for 20 years.
Right, and that's good that he's getting his benefits for serving as long as he did. Which, some people, when they leave before they've done their full term of 20, they resent everything that other people joining the military are for. And it's kind of upsetting that happens. And like everyone's individual experience in the military is different. There's no cookie cutter experience for everyone in the military.
No, because a lot of things that the most common thing that people think about when it comes to the military, especially the U.S. military, is that they think that, oh, you're going to fight wars. Well, not really, because we're not really in a time of war right now.
I don't think we'll be in a time of war. I hope not anytime soon, but at the same time,
No.
like I
Tension, as high tensions are, we're still and as close things are to spiraling out of control, I still feel like the way the U.S. is handling things right now, we are good. We're in a decent spot to say, or a decent position to say, we may not see any wars occur from, or that the U.S. will be involved in directly for the time being. Because
I agree. That's one thing I can agree on.
Yeah, because we're basically showing, hey, we can watch from the sidelines and not do anything.
Yeah, we don't have to play referee in these real big things, so it's good.
Yeah. I mean, sure, we will pick we may pick sides depending on morals, but we won't necessarily join in on the fight because we're kind of tired of doing that. So.
Oh yeah.
But like,
so.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, go.
I kind of realized we're kind of tiptoeing a little closer.
Yeah, we're tiptoeing. Yeah, we're tiptoeing there. But yeah, like it's
just lightly dancing on it.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting though because there are other things that the military does in the U.S. Like they do electrician work. They invent stuff other than weapons. Like they try to build. Well, what was it like around the time? I think it was 2008. They tried to build a supercomputer out of PS3s.
Yes, I remember that.
And then it failed miserably because Sony took off Linux.
Of course it failed miserably. It's PS3s.
No, see, had Sony not removed Linux off of the PS3, it would have worked. It would have so worked.
Yeah, it would have. But, like, I remember some of my friends in high school around that time, they were trying to learn Linux, and they were trying to, like, solely run their PCs only on Linux and all that, and a few of them stuck with it, and a lot of them just kind of gave up because they were like, Windows is fine.
My stepdad
problems.
My stepdad refuses to use any other operating system other than Linux.
Hey, I mean, if you're a diehard, you're a diehard, and I respect
yeah. But yeah, I understand like why people would want to use Linux because it is the most secure out of the three main operating systems because there's Windows, Mac, and Linux. But the problem with Linux is that it's not really accessible if you want to do certain things. Like if you want to do gaming, well,
right.
You do not want Linux or Mac. You want Windows. Well,
yeah, you definitely. It's definitely like pick your own adventure style, right? Like,
yeah.
If I only want to game with it, I think Windows has the best kind of both worlds without like the security. But
right.
If I wanted nothing but like to use the system for like servers and stuff, I would definitely use a Linux system because of the security.
Yeah, and if you're only wanting to do office work, then Mac or Chromebook.
Well, and you also see that a lot with like schooling now, like virtual schools. They use the Chromebooks for everything.
Oh yeah. Because it was the year I graduated, which was in 2017. They were slowly Chromebooks were creeping in. Chromebooks were creeping in to becoming the main computer that they were going to use.
Right. They talked about it for our school, roughly around 2004. They started seeing an influx of it. It wasn't until recently that like the high school I graduated from started using like audio visuals and like TV production as an elective course in schools, which blows me away because that's really good for like teaching kids and young students everything that they're going to learn to do in like production, studio, audio visual, and so on.
Yeah, because like the school I'm going to now is a technical college. Because they focus, they don't give you degrees, they give you advanced diplomas, which in the gaming industry is better because let's say you graduate from DigiPen, which is the world's most well-known school for learning game design or game development. You've graduated from there, but where's your experience? And if you can't answer that question, and if you can't answer that question, they're not going to hire you.
So, like, here's the thing. So, like, in my small town, our church that we went to just recently got an upgrade from the small church to like this big multi-purpose church where it had like rooms, it had a gymnasium. And
I'm guessing it's non-denominational.
Like yeah, it was a non-denom.
Of course, because non-denominational churches do that. I go to a non-denominational church.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing was that they gave back to the community. So the town that they were in, the high school was really big. So they didn't really have a really big AV department at the time. So what they did is the kids that wanted to learn AV, who were part of the church, the deacons would let them come in and actually run the sermon or the show basically through AV on church Sundays and Wednesdays. So it gave them actual like on the job training to do so.
Right.
Which I think it's really cool that you could get that even like yeah, you're not getting paid for it, but it's good experience. And then if you want to use that going forward, like that's where it's at.
Yeah, because so when I was in high school, I went through a high school DigiPen course, which gave me college credits early on, which I haven't used. But one thing I wish they would have done was instead of teaching me, there's the fundamentals I got to learn, which you should learn the fundamentals, but they never dove into any specific field of game development other than programming, which when I signed up for this school, or when I signed up for that class, it wasn't advertised as just programming. It was development, and just development. That's it. And I kind of wish that they diversed the curriculum, or if schools could just allow students to learn in a specific field that they want to do when they grow up. Honestly, I think we would be better off. Type of deal.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's almost like a trade, like learning a trade school.
Right.
Because you can go to a trade school and become an electrician or a plumber or an HVAC guy because they're going to be around. But I never understood the concept of going to a college and I still had to do general education courses. If I came out of high school and went straight to college, that stuff's fresh in my head. So why would I need to do their curriculum that dictates?
Did you order the code red? Goddamn right I did.
That sound alert should not have worked. Okay, hold on. I'm stopping the car, and okay, maybe because I forgot to hit this table. So, because someone redeemed the code red.
Hey, at least it was a code red.
Yes. Let's see here. Where is blurb properties? Shutdown source when not visible. There we go. And then same with sound alerts. Shutdown source when not visible. Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah,
position
I
you got
figured
now.
since we stopped, I might as well like try to shift around and see if it would like kind of fix the head motion.
It sort of did that. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. But yeah, like I understand, like the that like you said, when you first graduate, the stuff that is in your mind is fresh. And yeah, at the same time, by the time you get started, you'll have lost 2 months, at least 2 months of what you've learned.
Right.
So I think that's the main purpose.
I understand. I get it at like a conceptual level. That like if you, I will say though, like when I had to take the ASVAB to join the military, this
Right.
has also been like 10 years, like almost 10 years replaced from being in high school. So I will literally say, if you do not use it, you will lose it. So
Yeah.
for certain. So here I am with a like ASVAB book for dummies, just trying to like go through and self-test myself. I was like, I remember doing this, and just try not to be a damned idiot. But yeah.
Yeah, because like when I first graduated, I didn't really have any direction of what I was going to do, because at that time, that was when at first I thought I wanted to do game development, and then when I was about ready to graduate, I started having second thoughts, and that was when I started to study law. But financial situation kicks in, and I was studying law enforcement. So I'd made 2 attempts before in college. I tried studying law enforcement at Colorado Tech University, and then that was in 2018, and that was the year I became homeless, and because of that, I had to withdraw. Then, after I was no longer homeless, I tried again, but this time at American Intercontinental University, and they weren't really teaching at all. It was just because it was an online school, but they weren't teaching.
Right.
So I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm not doing this. So I withdrew from that like very quickly. And then the pandemic hit. And the pandemic became the 21st century art renaissance. That was when I started to...
Very true.
Yeah. That was when I got back into writing, but also I started to think about doing game design again. And the Academy of Interactive Entertainment, which is a school that I wanted to go to when I graduated, but they weren't offering this one specific class in the US yet. It was only in Australia. But this particular year, 2021, they finally started, or in 2020, they finally started to teach that in the US, in Seattle. So I was able to join the class, and the class is specifically game design and production.
So do you think that like this is the one course that you're gonna like stick with because you're enjoying it, or is it because like
I'm
you're
almost
chasing it for your dream?
Both.
Oh, well then good.
Yeah,
Double
and
whammy. Let's go.
yeah, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. Now, since we're at the end, you got of course 2 choices. We can, because we've only been doing this for 30 minutes. We can either loop around and go back and continue, or we can end it here.
I'll tell you what, for the sake of time, because I do have to get everything ready for my D&D tonight, I say
Right.
let's end it here, and also that way when you do post this tonight, it'll be like a bite-sized chunk, and it should help you with your editing if you do decide to edit some stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm basically gonna
But
release.
I definitely want to do this again. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
But this next time, I'm going to do it in my VR headset.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically. I'm gonna release
That way I
two
can
versions.
do the wacky waving and flavor.
Yeah, I'm gonna do two versions of this on YouTube. It's gonna be the raw version and then an edited version. So
There you go.
yeah. But to end my thing about let me just put this park. To end my thing about the game design thing. There's basically like three main roles in game development. There's the programmer that makes it work, the artist that makes it pretty, and then the designer that makes it fun. And so my job is to make it fun.
Hell yeah. Make it fun.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. That's why we play games. We
Yeah.
play games because they're fun and they're interesting. And
Yeah.
and sometimes they're also very, very beautiful, beautiful pieces of work.
Yes. But yeah. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not right now. My mind is kind of a bomb, like a bomb field that's just one thing after another. But I did enjoy this. I do want to do this again. for
All
sure.
right. Cool. Well, next week, depending on her response, we should be doing this with Nico Kitten Fox. She is another great friend of mine. He's a Kitten Fox VTuber. But yes, so I'll have more info next week, guys. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Rebel, for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me, my friend.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to do this because this is like a great opportunity for people to let things off their chests and be even more human for a day. More human than they already are.
The facade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm definitely going to figure out a way to keep connected on my VR headset to my command center that is my rig and go from there. But yeah, I think we'll be able to work it out. So I'll try to work out the bugs for the next time I am invited onto the show. So
Okay. Yeah. Now, another thing I'm doing that's going to be the tradition on this podcast, which was a tradition on the last podcast I did. I let you choose who we raid.
All right. Let me go take a look at the multitude of people that I have real quick. Hold tight.
Yeah. I also find my phone. And Cherry just came in. Hi, Cherry.
All right. I did find one of our friends named Frisky Tater. He is also a designer. He does a lot of Blender
Ooh.
designs for his brother Shutgoon. If you've ever been to his channel,
Okay.
so he does a lot of design work for that as well.
Alright, so how do you spell it? Because I don't think I'm following him.
Yeah, it's FRISKY
Hold on.
TATER.
Okay, one more time. Real quick, sorry.
Yeah, FRISKY
FRISKY
TATER.
Oh, Frisky Tater, there we go.
Yes, sir.
once the ad stops. It's a public service announcement from the Puget Sound.
Oh God, not the Puget Sound, no.
No. There we go. Oh, he's making a cane right now. A cane gun.
It's something for. I think it's probably something he's working on. This is definitely his art stream that he does. He only streams once a month because he does a lot of his stuff for his brother. So.
All right. Well, for everyone who's in chat, I know this was relatively short, but yeah, the man has stuff to do. How dare you?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get done here in a very relatively short amount of time.
All right, so for those who are subscribed, this is the raid message, and for those who are not subscribed, this is the raid message. The Yule. And let me just... Whoops. I misspelt the subscribed raid message. There we go. And... boink. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And thank you, Rebel, again, for joining me on this fabulous day.
Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's go ahead and get the raid started. Frisky Tater. He's a tater tot. Maybe that's what we should spam. He's a tater tot. But anyways, guys, thank you guys again so much, and until next time, everyone, keep flapping those wings. Bye.
Bye.
Boink. And can't see that part.